Alright guys, into turn 1, Bossu Woods. I thought I'd give an after action report. But before I do that, I'd like to preface this by saying I did not use the black powder rules as I said I would. I'm revisiting a rule set that I've long been a fan of. I won't go into detail here as I've done so in the past. If you're curious, just post a question in the comments and I'll fill you in. But basically, it's fairly unique in my opinion. So we have order markers here, and depending on the number that is right side up, uh, determines the order sequence in which the unit moves. It also designates the order in effect. So this is a maneuver order. If it was turned this way, that would be a defensive order, reserve, and an attack order. So that's how that works. I'd also like to add that these red markers designate a couple of units French-wise that start out a little depleted for this scenario. That being the Lancers here, two French units here, and the two light French units in the woods. They start -1. Now all of these start off with a strength of four stands. And even though you see more than 4 stands, that is more for aesthetic than anything else. It's just 4 is the standard starting strength. That said, I think we start on the right flank here because they have an order marker number of 2. These guys simply moved up 1 hex as they have an attack order. That's what they did there. That brings us to the French artillery here with an order number 4. That moved them up 1 hex to bring them closer within range to the enemy. That then takes us to the light French in the woods. They moved up 1 as well. Nothing going on there. And then at that point, I think it switches to the British, and they have let's see, 7, yeah, they have the British over here, and they also, with an attack order, moved up 1, well, one of the units did, adjacent to the light French. We'll get to that in a second. The other unit in this unit group kind of broke off and is wanting to maybe go around and circumvent the woods and come around. We'll see how that goes. I don't remember if Wellington moved. I think he pretty much stayed put. And let's see, that's 9. And then after 9, we have, let's see, there's a 32 and a 30. Okay. Oh, here's a 14. So then that brings us to the British artillery. They moved up 1. And then it cuts to, I'm trying to go quickly with this, so I may make a mistake, but I believe it goes to this unit group here with an order number 27, which is a maneuver order. Also had to put these guys, a couple of the French as well, in a column in order to move more than 1 hex, which is what that maneuver order allows us to do. So they essentially were able to move 2 hexes, bringing them closer. These guys were unable to move, even though they have a maneuver order, they were unable to move 2 hexes, because in doing so that would bring them adjacent to the enemy, and if you have a maneuver order, you're not allowed to do that. You need to be have an attack order to move adjacent to an enemy unit. Then that brings us to, what is it? Not yet. So, oh, this unit, this French unit here, again had to change them to a column so they could complete their maneuver order. That moved them up 2 hexes. And finally, that brings us to light cavalry here. They have a maneuver order as well, moved up 2 hexes. And these guys here, can't forget them, which I almost did. The Lancers here, they have maneuver order, and they moved up double as well. So that's the current state. The only really eventful thing that happened this turn is, as I mentioned, we've got some British and French units that are adjacent. Again, you use the order numbers to determine who goes first. The French went first. They weren't able to do much to the British. They caused them to take a -2 morale check, which they passed with flying colors. The British then did the same. counterattacking the French in melee and causing a -4 morale check, which in turn caused them to receive a disorder marker. Now all these guys are in open order, and this unit here behind the unit that was attacked has not been affected by that. So that was the only really eventful thing that happened. I have a unit that is disordered, so I need to take care of them. If they disorder again, they're going to rout. That's not good. And that preps us for turn 2. All right, talk to you guys on the flip side.